This is Dave Learns AI, a Taptico Solutions podcast. I'm Dave Clapper, diving into the real-world ways AI is changing business, creativity, and how we work. No fluff, no jargon, just practical insights and experiments you can learn from right alongside me. Oh, Dave Learns AI! And here we are. Arr.
And we're back.
I guess we can call this season 3. It's Dave Learns AI. And for people who are just tuning in, first 2 seasons were all about learning AI, and now I know it. So I know it all.
So we're changing the name of the series to Dave is a Master of AI. AI Master Dave Clapper is actually what it's going to be called. And we're going to do a whole rollout with a campaign. Dave's going to be dressed as a Kung Fu master. So he's going to have the whole gi on and all that stuff with the black belts, except the black belt's going to have Taptico branding on it.
There you go.
It's, hey, you like me now? How you like me now?
Well, it has been a while since we've done an episode, and one of the main reasons is we went through a transition. We lost our compadre, Tribble. We lost him.
He's no longer with us.
He's no longer with us. He didn't die. Well, kind of.
Oh, yeah, I should clarify. Yeah, he's moved on to bigger and better things, and we love him very much.
We miss him, and he's going to be missed on these calls very much so. But Tribble had a baby, and we knew it was coming. It was not a surprise.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God.
What is that? What did you have for dinner?
No, we were aware, and, just as things were transitioning, because, listen, we launched this business together a year ago, and Tribble came on from the early stages. And when you launch a business, it really takes a lot. I mean, it takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of, struggle, hard work, late nights. And, he got married.
Tribble just didn't have it.
Well, he got married.
Got married. Dave.
No.
Get in the laundry. Unbelievable.
I'm just saying, he got married. Shut up. He got married and had a kid, man. It was like, oh, it's going to be hard to do the stuff that we're doing. And we're in it for sure. And we miss him. And so this is Dave Learns AI with just Nick and Dave, which this is not our first rodeo. I mean, we had the Clap and Tap show at one point. So
sure did. We're on the airways. We opened up for Larry the Cable Guy at a sold out Fox Theater.
Yep.
So
it was quite a show.
It was quite the show. Dave's enjoying a beverage. What's in the cup, Dave?
It is cold brew coffee. Stoke is my brand of choice. Maybe they can throw me a couple of bottles, because we got lots of viewers on this thing. But
viewers, Stoke Coffee. Stoke Coffee. Go try out Stoke Coffee for all your cold beverage needs.
Stoke Coffee. Cold brew. So much to talk about. I mean, we talk with people all the time about how fast things are changing in the AI world. When we launched this business and when we launched this podcast about a year ago, I mean, we were talking pretty rudimentary things of like what we were learning, because we were learning the basics. And one of the biggest transitions that we made just before we kind of ended season 2 was really getting into the agentic world, really developing our agents to help us with our workflow and stuff like that. And I mean, Nick seriously was in that room right there that he's in and didn't come out for breath for like 3 weeks straight, learning all of this. And it was quite an experience to watch, and then for him to learn as well. And so, I mean, big steps forward in just our ability and the things that we're learning, and then trying to share with other people, which, I mean, that's been kind of the most fun about all of this, don't you think?
Well, for me, I'm kind of a tech nerd and I love all this stuff. So learning and building with these tools is pretty awesome. The hardest part, just being honest, is we are not experts in our clients' businesses. So the hardest part is the context. So figuring out the context of a business so that we can integrate these tools and systems into them. That's really the biggest bottleneck right now. But once we knock that door down and we figure it out, it's gangbusters, So, but it's a lot of fun. So we're working with clients that we enjoy the industry, like luxury real estate. So one of our clients is a luxury real estate agent in Atlanta in the Southeast. So yeah, we're helping them sell beautiful mega mansions. not a bad day at work.
No, not a bad day at all, and we get to meet great people too. One of the things I'm most proud about is we picked up our first 2 clients relatively quickly, and, they didn't really know what we could do, and we didn't really know what we could do, but we're a year later with still the 2 first clients, and we didn't sign a year contract. Ultimately, the way that we're doing this is, "Hey, give us 3 months, let us get into your systems and learn them, and let us, find a cadence that works well for you, and, make sure that we can actually develop something that's going to help your business." Well, it's obvious in having those 2 clients a year later still using us, and for no other reason other than the fact that they see the actual the worth in the things that we're developing them for them.
I believe
And
the word you look for is value, Dave.
yeah, that's a good one.
Workforce, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the value for sure. And, with those clients, and then here we are again a year later, and now we've got 5 clients and 6 clients coming. Like now it's like, all right, well, how busy do we want to be? Because it really is still just you and I, and then our agents, which is great because you can delegate a lot of work through this AI world, but we're still really in the place where we're hand holding yet. You know, in some of the things that we're doing. So we're still very much hands-on.
You know what, Dave?
You gonna show
I
me?
might I might show you.
Show me.
This would be fun to reveal to this in real time and get your
Show me, don't tell me.
exactly.
Yeah. So
All right.
Nick's been working on something that's gonna change our work life balance, I think.
Yes. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull it up here. All right. So before I share my screen, this is a tool that I'm currently building for Dave and I. And the purpose of the tool is to basically bring streamline and operations and executions to meetings, right? I hate meetings. I think meetings are the biggest waste of time. 99% of the time, people just want to feel like they're important, especially in corporate environments. So they sit there and they talk, even if they have nothing to say or they're not listening. And it's just a place to be. We have to just go sit every week, right? On the client services side, we obviously are reporting back what we've worked on. We get questions answered. We present things and propose things and ideas and all that stuff. But then once we agree with the strategy and what we're going to do and execute, then we have to go do it. So what I'm building right now is a tool that I call Loop Flow. Loop Flow,
Did you come up with
and
that yourself?
I actually did. It just came out honestly,
Nice.
because it's like it's a loop. So you're going to start hearing less prompt engineering now, and loops, agent loops is going to be the next iteration of agents. And what that means is they just are continuously running in loops. Look, kids, Big Ben to Parliament. Look, kids, Big Ben to Parliament. And sorry, that's a shout out to European Vacation. But but what our agents are going to do, they're going to keep continuously 24/7 check for tasks that got delegated to them. So we have a meeting with a client. We have 2 AI recording tools. Those merge because sometimes one tool misses the recording, doesn't record the right thing, attributes it to the wrong speaker. So we have the other tool. Um, we use 2 different tools, and then they parse and compare notes, and then we get a higher quality output on the meeting transcripts.
Okay.
Now, what I'm building through LoopFlow is those transcripts pull out the to-dos. Those go to Bo. All the tasks that we need to get done. Those go to Bo. Bo then delegates those to one of our 75 specialized agents to execute in real time. This is as soon as we hang up in the meeting, the transcripts roll out, and then the agents get delegated their tasks.
And
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 again,
Bo
our agents,
and Bo's delegating them.
right, Bo's our orchestration agent. So
Gotcha.
he knows exactly what slingshots, we call them slingshots, are best at what, right? So we have one named Murphy that's a PR agent. And these aren't just willy-nilly thrown together, right? We have our guardrails and our product PRDs, product requirement docs for each agent. They're 40 plus pages long. So it's not like we're throwing these things together. So they're very, very, very well trained. So back to loop flow. So we have our meeting. Bo gets the task and the to dos and all that stuff, sends them and delegates them to the appropriate agent. Those agents execute on the deliverables, send them back to Bo for a quality analysis. Bo sends them, so they take it back to Bo. How's this? Bo says, no, not good enough yet.
Yeah.
Keep going. When they finally come back to Bo and Bo says this is good, he then sends them to Lucy, who's our QA agent. And
Okay.
Lucy is short for Lucifer, devil's advocate.
Gotcha.
So she pins it, like knocks it down again and strips it apart. And then they rebuild whatever the task is. So this is quality control, right?
Right.
And then finally they go through all this stuff and pretty much instantaneously all this happens because the tools are that good now.
Yeah.
And then they come back to us. We have where I'll show you now, but we also have a Slack channel where it's an approvals workflow where whichever human is the account lead on the account approves, denies, edits, whatever the end result that the agents brought back to us. So Dave will go in and read if it's a marketing materials or whatever. He'll say, this looks good, but change that logo to a dark logo. They'll do it and bring it back to us.
Right.
So just to put a wrapper on this, we talk about the work in our meetings with our clients. The agents do the work. We're the quality control, the final quality control loop. And then we have editorial power. And then we approve when they are up to our standards, which are very high. And so at any given time, we have dozens and dozens and dozens of tasks going on, both internally for our business, Taptico, and externally for each of our clients. So we needed a place to capture all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I
All right. Yeah.
present to you
Workflow.
Taptico OS.
OS. Taptico OS. And this is all built through
This is all built through Claude. So this is
Anthropic.
using Anthropic. Yes, this is using Fable 5, which is their newest model that came out. Dave showed me a website for a proposal that he put together, and I loved it so much I stole the design. So we can switch this back and forth between light and dark.
That's
Light's
awesome.
easier on the eyes and better to read, but this is just gorgeous,
It looks good. Yeah.
right? So I've been working. This is just the website. This website took me 10 minutes to build. All the back end stuff of what took so long. So
Right.
Dave will know this. This is our big picture.
Okay.
So obviously this has not been populated yet. But Dave, this is a shout out to the Beat Big Picture back in the day.
I love it. Yeah. Heck yeah.
The- This is literally I had an Dave and I, when we first worked together back at Cox Media 20 years ago, we had an Excel spreadsheet that showed all of our events, all of our promotions, everything on one Excel spreadsheet that was an eternal scroll like this. So I basically stole that and we're going to use that for us. But this is good for visual, right? So we can look at the dates up here. What do we
Yeah.
have next week? We can see. So when we start using the loop flow, all of this will get populated retroactively with the stuff we have working on. And also will get populated in real time after meetings. This is pipeline, which none of this has been populated yet, but this is our pipeline, which is our sales agent. And we are on the final stages of creating agentic sales agents. So we're going to have sales agents that are 24/7 looking for our ICPs, doing lead gen, scanning for buying signals in the market. Say a company is hiring a marketing director. We can say, "How about us?"
Yeah.
and offer us up, right? So, and then we can send customized and personalized email outreach to those folks when those things come out. And we have an agent doing that 24/7, and this will be populated with the leads from that. Products. This is something that I'll be working on, which is the Taptico AI products. A lot of the stuff that we are building um, could be resold. Like, so these are tools that we're using internally, and then we can actually put these on the market from Taptico AI at a subscription-based model. So
That's always
that
been something for those who are just kind of tuning in. So, we started this thing as a, marketing slash AI agency. There's a lot of a fractional work out there right now. There are a lot of people in big businesses that aren't hiring a full-on marketing director because, I mean, let's be honest, $200,000 for a marketing director, paying their insurance and their taxes and all that stuff can be tough. And when people are trying to cut things down, okay, let's hire a fractional guy. So, being the fact that Nick and I don't really want to be back in that corporate world in that position, sitting in that seat for one company, doing fractional work was really something that we were interested in, and because of the movement of the AI world and all that stuff, we're like, okay, well, people are going to need CAIOs. So let's do that on a fractional basis too, because making that commitment to a full-time personality or person or, employee is a big commitment for somebody too who doesn't understand what are we even doing? Let's go spend $150,000 on us, on a chief AI officer, but we don't even know what to tell them what to do yet. So that's kind of
Exactly.
where we were thinking is like, okay, we're going to be fractional CMOs, fractional CAIO, and we are doing that. And for every client that we are doing their marketing, we are doing their AI infrastructure build, we're helping with operations because of the AI tools. I mean, we're really going in on this this C-suite level and taking on a lot of responsibility. But Nick, in the process, is like, hold on a second. What I'm building for our company is something that a lot of other companies would want to be able to use on their own. And if we can show them how it works and the benefits of it, it's for us. It's like build it once and then multiply it across a
Scale it.
bunch of different businesses.
Yep. So we actually have something called Onboard Prime that will be a 30 to 45-minute process that takes all new clients through an onboarding admin I guess funnel. And then at the end, they'll have their own branded version of this if they sign up for Taptico OS.
So we'll,
Very-
to dumb it down for somebody who may not be as advanced in some of the things that we're talking about. So if you work with ChatGPT, and that is your primary AI tool, after a while, obviously, ChatGPT gets to understand who you are. They know a lot about your family. They know about your tastes, and you're building a brain of somebody that understands you. Well, that's really important when we're developing AI tools for business is like we have to make sure that the AI tools understand the business. And that takes time. But with this onboard prime that we have, this is our best way to shoot straight up to the top with as much information as we can get. It's kind of like doing an interview is what you say. And we're interviewing the people that matter. And in some
Almost like
certain,
a therapy session. We'll say like a therapy.
yeah,
So we're extracting their
because we're
opinions.
trying to find out, some of the things that drive them crazy about their jobs. Uh,
Exactly.
So in some circumstances too, where you're going to have 3 or 4 different people that you're going to work with in an organization, you do onboard prime for all 3 or 4, and it all feeds to that central brain that helps us build this tool to then help us execute their work,
Right.
right?
So what part of the deal that you can't see is called memory API that we've created. So basically building a very smart brain that is personally trained on our business. And then that cascades down to our client's business where we have memories for each of them. So
Yeah.
any interaction we've ever had with any of our clients goes into a knowledge base that trains our agents on specifically our clients, their industry, their competitors, etc. So we build through all of this. Every time we interact with a client, our agents get better because they become smarter and have more context. So all it does is, and every time like Fable 5 came out from Anthropic this week, our tools all got exponentially better. So anytime a new tool comes out, say ChatGPT 6 comes out tomorrow and it's phenomenal and blows Anthropic out of the water, we're agnostic. So we just switch over all this stuff over to Anthropic because we built our layer using a tool called OpenClaw to build. And now we have it on our own stack. We own it, everything. And we don't charge ourselves, right? The only cost that we have are API cost, which we'll get into maybe in a future episode
That's
about
an
local.
important thing to talk about too. And every time we talk to a client
It's
now, we talk about bring your own keys, and
BYOK.
BYOK. And the reason being is what we didn't understand even when we first started. It was like, And a lot of people are like, well, I pay 20 bucks a month. My AI does everything I need it to do. But when you start building businesses around it that need to actually feed off different sources, there's a cost in that communication between one tool to another tool. So, and again, like you said, we can talk more about it later, but most people don't realize like when you start to set up systems, like there's a real expense there.
Yeah.
There in the beginning, people are like, how is AI going to be profitable if they're going to give it away for free or it's 20 bucks a month? Well, that was all part of the process. Okay, let's get people really excited about this, get them hooked on the processes and the efficiencies, and now let's start start charging them.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing.
What's going on over there? You texting somebody? What's happening?
SpaceX just
Oh, just went public.
yep, just went. I got it for $151.
Nice. So,
Yeah. So
so you
this is
got one.
actually historic. This is Elon Musk officially just became the first trillionaire in human history on today. We're recording this Friday, June the 12th, 11:57, and
So he is
SpaceX
now
is
the richest man in the world.
he's the first trillionaire ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that a million billion or is that 100,000?
Uh,
I don't even know what a trillion is.
tr- Trillion's
Unbelievable.
more than I can count.
Yeah. All right, so that just happened. So that's why I was a little bit distracted.
Okay,
So good.
so
I got some shares of SpaceX.
that's awesome. And don't let your friends talk you out of it like your buddy did when you were gonna put some
Unbelievable.
money.
I won't. Unbelievable.
What
Don't
was it?
buy Facebook IPO. Don't
Face
buy Netflix IPO. Twice I got burnt. Unbelievable. Follow your hearts, kids. Follow your hearts. Anyway, all right. So back to this, Dave. I haven't gotten to the most exciting one.
Okay,
So I also rebuilt L10.
okay.
So all right, maybe a little bit more reaction.
Well, I don't know what I'm
Come
looking
on,
at yet. I don't know what I'm looking at yet.
this is the L10 level 10 meetings.
Okay.
So this is EOS, the EOS My 90
Yeah,
software you used to pay 50 bucks a month for.
yeah.
I rebuilt it. And now it's free.
Wow, wow.
And now we sit here and
Start
we're
the
going to
meeting.
run our meetings through this.
Okay. So
So
this is our note taker. Who like what do you got
no,
wired
this
in?
is our L10. So this is our agenda for all of our meetings internally.
Okay. So
So
what
this
is
replaces Asana.
so what's happening when you hit start? What is that? Is just a time for
It's a
our
timer.
just a
It's a
timer for our
timer.
meeting? Okay.
Yeah, because each in an L10 meeting, Dave knows this, but in case those listening don't know, L10 is based on EOS, which is Entrepreneurial Operating System, and it's when I was at Gusto, it's something that we literally thrived on because it gets everyone rowing in the same direction. Everyone knows what's the most important thing this week, what's the most important thing this month, what's the most important thing this quarter, and then all of the rocks and all that stuff support the higher goals of the business. So this is a timer because it's very strict on the time of the meeting. So you
Yeah.
have to be very succinct. This prevents you from BSing your way through a meeting, which Dave and I have done with some of our clients. We will be in a meeting for an hour and a half and get 3 minutes of work done.
Yeah.
So this keeps you disciplined in meetings. So you go down the scorecard, right? And
Nice.
this shows you how many minutes were budgeted for each section. Here, probably can read a little bit better,
Yeah.
and we go down through the rocks. Obviously, we haven't done all this stuff yet. The headlines, all that stuff. So
Wow.
this is something that I built for us to use internally, but it also is this is going to end up being our catch-all for everything that we're working on internally for Taptico. So when our agents on the loop flow start getting their things done, this is where the board comes in. So we see all the things that the agents are working on here. You can click in and get details. You can see which agents are working on them. So we can actually assign agents. These actually aren't even listed correctly. So I still have to work on some
Yeah, you're
stuff.
still working, you're still building it from
Yeah.
the back end, but oh my gosh, talk about I mean, because let's be honest, we went from 2 clients to 6 clients like in a minute, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And
So deliverability is one thing that as a new business, you have to say, we need to sell because we need to keep the funnel full in case
right.
someone drops off, but we also need to deliver on what we promised, over deliver even. And
And how
this
co
will help us.
Yeah, and how can we help other people create efficiencies if we're not efficient ourselves? So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's the key. Well, that's beautiful, man. I look forward to using it and seeing how it works for, our current workflow, which it looks like it's gonna be super helpful.
It's already live. So maybe we have a test meeting with someone because it's working. So I've got to tighten up some loose ends, and then we're going to keep adding to it, just like we do with our clients, right?
Yeah.
Like Lazy Boys Portal. The more they use it, the more they understand what it can do. So that's what we're going to focus on and do that internally. But yeah, so pretty fired up about that.
Well, probably since the last time we talked, I think OpenClaw, came out. There were a couple of updates. Now, I mean, the updates are almost daily. But it's interesting to see so many people that are figuring out what OpenClaw means and then how to utilize OpenClaw and that open source and then utilize the LLMs and the other various tools to create these agents that can work specifically for you. One of the things that I'm really impressed about what you did is created was you were talking about the real estate agent. We got a high-end real estate agent who is looking to, be on the front end of technology, but also, it's important that he continues to be somebody that, the people who are selling $1 million houses are thinking about when it's either listing or, or going out and
$5
helping
million houses.
$5 million houses. But one of the first things that you did is you created an agent that's specific to his business. That agent's name is CB. He lives in a Slack channel, and it's just like Arbo. And I think it's pretty cool that everybody in his world now talks to CB. CB is like an assistant for all of them that work on his brand, and everybody can utilize them for the jobs that they're trying to get done. It's almost like having your own private chat GPT that's only educated on your business and everything that has to do with your
Even
business.
better than that, ChatGPT is not agentic,
Yeah.
you know? So ChatGPT just gives you answers. What CB
Right.
does is it executes. So
Yeah.
CB says, you say, hey, we need marketing materials for 115 Wellington Avenue. And 10 minutes later, you've got all the marketing materials you need.
Because it's
Because
trained on everything that you already do. And it's still, we still think about it all the time. It's like what goes in is what comes out. If you're not putting the right information in, you're not going to get the best information out. And that's where the building of that comes from. And that's why it's so important in doing things like onboard Prime and stuff like that, where it really allows us to get in there, get the nuts and bolts of the business,
Yeah.
build the agent, make sure that agent is an expert on what they're doing, and then go, hey, you now have somebody who's going to do a bunch of work for you.
For instance, SpaceX IPO.
Yeah.
They had a website that they put out for the IPO. It's called a roadshow. So it kind of like explains everything for investors. I saw the IPO this morning when I was like watching all the news coverage on SpaceX IPO, and I looked at the website and I said, "Holy crap, this is an awesome website." I just love the aesthetic. I took the URL, I went to our system, and I said, "Can you emulate the layout of this website for Taptico using our branding?" It said, "Sure, how's this?" And it built this.
See it.
So
See.
this is for Taptico AI. So the tools that we're building,
Yeah.
this was built because we've trained it on our branding.
Right.
This was built in 5 minutes um, using our tool. This is a website that used to take, see, there's a little bit of mess ups, right? So
Yeah.
this is literally but a one shot. You'll hear this is like one shot means one prompt and it did this. So this is
Yeah.
literally version one. The memory API, something we just talked about, loop flow, we just went over all the comms, all that stuff. The mission control is what we just looked at, the OS. Loop flow, this is the marketing material on loop flow. Obviously, no pictures in here, but aesthetically, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And this was done literally in 10 minutes for the cost of maybe $5 to us because we've put in all the work to train all these tools how to do all this stuff.
Simple and clean and, gets right to the point. So, yeah, I love it.
Exactly. And this is literally just a V1. So, but
Yeah.
just that just pops. It's just gorgeous to me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's awesome. And, we've been talking a lot about all the news just because, I mean, there are a lot of things happening in this world of AI. I'm in the middle of something right now, here in my neighborhood. Is they're trying to build a data center, like within a mile of my house, which for anybody who's done any research on that, there are a lot of pros and cons in it. But I think more than anything, what happened was there was a change in, rezoning, that the community was not aware of. So it was kind of like a backdoor meeting that got approved. And so, a lot of people in the area are like, well, wait a minute, like this wasn't even something that we had an opportunity to discuss, and changing, what was a rural area, which was then rezoned into being a commercial area, whatever. So there's this big fight over that. So, I mean, you're seeing that across the country. I mean, obviously, there's data centers, they're needed in a certain level. But I mean, if you think about what your IPO and what you just invested in, I mean, what Elon's doing with everything that he's doing in SpaceX is he wants to put all this stuff up in outer space where
that's right.
we're not messing up our ecosystem on Earth necessarily for the data centers that will be needed as this continues to advance.
So, politics aside, he started Tesla so that we could help the environment. He's
Yeah,
still that guy, right? I don't care what the news wants to tell you. He still wants to protect the environment. So he's using SpaceX to take data centers and put them into space so that we're not obviously like data centers have been not victimized, but weaponized by the media for, I think the media is scared of AI for the most part. So they're going to do more of the accusatory, gotcha kind of things with anything AI because they're stealing your jobs
right.
and they're going to take everything and you're in trouble and the water. But a lot of that is blown out of proportion. They do have a toll. I mean, how often does the community vote on other commercial zoning?
Yeah.
The answer is never, right? They could come in and put up a gas station, right across the street from you if they want to. The
I think
community's not
all
going to show up.
I think all industrial though, like the community has to be involved in that because you're talking about taking big plots of land and putting industrial, stuff on it. So I think the community does have to be involved in stuff like that. I mean, a gas
I
station's
don't
one.
think we have been though, is what I'm saying. Like warehouses, how often does the community vote on a warehouse being approved for
Yeah.
build? Like even roads, like the government's gonna do what the government's gonna do.
Yeah.
But all that to say, yes, it's still like we're still learning about I think the electricity is the biggest component, but part of the infrastructure build is they have to bring their own power. So they're supposed to be building their own power plants locally for the data centers. Anyway, the long term vision, and this is why Anthropic is actually investing in SpaceX by the tune of billions and billions of dollars, is because they're buying their compute from SpaceX because it's not tenable to have these data centers on Earth.
Yeah.
They go up in space. They're super cheap to run because they don't pull on electricity. They're using solar power.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, right? So that's why like SpaceX is going to be much more than just rockets. It's going to be this XAI, which is Elon's AI company. They're gonna have the monopoly on space data centers.
Yeah, because they can, and if anybody else wants to put any data centers
They
up
gotta
there,
go
I
through
mean,
SpaceX.
they gotta hire
Talk
Elon.
about a business moat, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I put some money into it.
Somebody's gonna
Uh,
complain at some point, like, "Oh, it's a monopoly. He's the only one doing it." It's like,
Absolutely. That's
go go ahead
yeah.
and do it. Go ahead and invest. Go ahead and
Go
do it.
ahead,
I
go
mean,
ahead. Start your
yeah,
own rocket company. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Start
Absolutely.
your start your own rocket company. Didn't Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos start it? He's got his own rocket company.
He's got his own space tourist company.
Oh, it's a little bit
The
different.
kind that sends Katy Perry up to low Earth orbit and they float around for 20 minutes and then come back.
Okay.
SpaceX is going to Mars.
People
So,
with
and
people with money. People with money. It's
well,
crazy.
people that got money too, their
Yeah,
brains got them there to be in the position to do all this stuff. So,
that's true.
and now our brains can do it too because AI is as smart as Elon and it's
Yeah.
about to be smarter.
Well, it's pretty amazing. A lot of really great things happening for us as a company, Taptico. A lot of great things in the
I
world of
didn't tell you this, Dave.
yes. Tell me.
I just had a VC reached out asking if they could invest.
Really? Someone you know or random?
Random,
Really? So now somebody, venture capitalist money's coming our way too. So
maybe.
yeah,
Maybe. We'll
yeah,
see. It's apparently gonna be like a land grab. Anyone doing what we're doing is a big time VC play,
yeah.
but we're so far away from Silicon Valley and all those VCs, I think it's gonna be slow to get to us, but the more we put these things out, the better.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, and our big end goal isn't necessarily that. The reason why we're doing this is we didn't want to be in corporate world. We didn't want to work for the man. We wanted to do something that we enjoyed doing and learning something new and exciting and being able to utilize our brains um, for the good. The good of I'm not gonna say the good of the world, but the good of
Uh, my whole
small
why is to
business,
help
small
yeah.
business.
My whole why is to help small businesses outmaneuver the Goliaths. That's why the
Yeah,
slingshot called the slingshots. So they're the weapon that David used against the giants. So that's really where we're going for. And like the system I showed you guys earlier is really like having a complete staff of 75 Elon Musk trained in their own vertical, um, capable agents at your disposal any given time. If I were to say, so we're not going against marketing budgets anymore, and this is running long, so I'll make this
that's all
quick,
right.
but we're going against labor, right? So if we say, "Hey, we'll give you access to 75 well-trained agents that work 24/7, are always on and smarter than you'll ever be, for $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year," and that replaces one person, or it's a force multiplier for all of their people and their
Yeah,
on their team, it's a no-brainer. So what we're offering up is the ability to have a full staff of 75 plus agents that work for you, do the work for you. You lead them, you control the output, you coach them and guide them, and they do all the work. And you're getting that for the cost of one employee,
yeah,
which is insane. And they're
yeah,
better than they don't argue. There's no politics. They don't get sick. Sometimes they get sick, and that's why we stay around
yeah,
to
yeah,
fix
yeah.
that
We
does.
definitely. Well, and,
But
and we had an interesting conversation with one of our clients yesterday, and we were talking about, the question is, well, AI is going to replace your job. No, somebody who knows how to use AI is going to replace your job because
exactly.
ultimately it doesn't necessarily at this point replace people, but it does help efficiencies. And if I'm a hiring manager and I can hire somebody who's got some great marketing experience, but I can also hire for the same amount of money somebody who has great marketing experience and knows how to use the tools to create efficiencies to be, even more successful at what they do, and then everyone around them. Then hello, that's the person I'm going to hire. So it's great because you have a niece that's got an internship right now that's really leading the charge for some of the stuff we're doing with a client, and I mean the education that she's getting through it's going to be very helpful for her when she gets out of college.
I had a call with her this morning and I was showing her, I was like, look, you're going to be a one percenter when you're done. She got certified from Anthropic already. You
Yeah,
know, the amount of people that have done that is probably in the tens of thousands for the entire world. And it's a
yeah,
free course. But just actually taking the time to sit down and go through the coursework is the one thing. Like the execution of that kind of stuff is what separates the the permanent underclass to the successful.
yeah,
Just because people aren't willing to sit down at a computer for a few hours and learn how to do it and retain this. Imagine being able to sit down and go through a course that teaches you how to play guitar and you will retain that skill for the rest of your life.
yeah.
Would you not take a day to sit down and become Jimi Hendrix good on a guitar?
Yes, I would.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So yeah, and obviously you get better the more you use it, but part of the value that we're bringing, or as Dave said, the what did you say? The not
No,
the
I don't know.
value,
Oh, the
the
work,
worth,
oh,
the
the work,
worth that we're bringing.
the word.
That we've already figured out all this stuff, so you don't
Yeah,
have to. So we
yeah.
built all the tools, and we would teach you to use the tools, and then you rock and roll. So yeah, Not to be
Well,
too salesy in this stuff, but we're
no,
fired up.
we don't want to be salesy, but we definitely want to let people know that we've got some knowledge. We're way more advanced than most people that they know, and if they have questions, they want to
And it's
talk.
more than just one of my friends said, "Oh, so you just really good at prompting?"
Yeah.
I fell out of my chair backwards because I rolled my eyes so much. But they just don't know, right? They just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still like there are a lot of people out there that just don't understand the power of it yet. So, that's what we can do. So obviously you can hit us up at taptico.com. We do have the and the website will probably get a redo here real soon because we've got all these new agents who could do even better things. So,
Yep,
don't get too used to it if you're, spending a lot of time on our website. I bet that's what you're
yep.
doing.
We also can build it to our website, knows who's coming to it and can actually regenerate itself based on the profile of the person visiting.
Say that again?
Right. The website can molt basically based on the person that's coming to the website.
No way.
So think about that,
Knowing what kind of stuff that they like or what,
right,
impacts them or whatever. That's pretty
where they
crazy.
came from.
Yeah.
Like if it's the links attributed to, Macworld,
Yeah.
they know they're techie, so
Yeah. Yeah.
they make it more techie. If they're coming from a email address that has a construction company in the title, they it could be tailored to a construction. So that's the kind of stuff where in the past you build a website, you have that website, the same
Yeah.
website with minor updates for a decade.
Yeah.
No, it can change in near real time now, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna get better and better. So
Wow.
that's the kind of stuff that AI can provide.
Well, we're back in action with Dave Learns AI. Dave is still learning. Obviously, Nick just taught me a bunch today. And, give us a call if you have some questions and then tune in to our next episode because I'm sure we'll have more things to share with you, teach you, or to talk about. So, Nick,
Yes, sir.
pleasure. It's good talking to you, man.
Love you, brother.
See you later. This is Dave Learns AI, a Taptico Solutions podcast. I'm Dave Clapper, diving into the real world ways AI is changing business, creativity, and how we work. No fluff, no jargon, just practical insights and experiments you can learn from right alongside me. All day.